This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, Mr. Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 22nd of August. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, so far we've not seen any real sign of weakness here. We've still got a weak 60-minute sell signal fixed. We've had two failed ones, and this one almost failed but didn't quite. But we've not really seen any meaningful sign of weakness here. We did see a little retrace. It wasn't enough to make any of the sell signal targets apart from on RTY. NQ still has a sell signal testing the high. This could be a little top. There's not an awful lot suggesting that it is. So far, we will see. Retest these highs in RTH today, and we might start getting some 60-minute RTH sell signals brewing. We've got a weak 60-minute sell signal fixed again on RTY, so we've got a signal there. The YM1 has reached possible near miss target. And DAX and the STX, which have both got very nice support trend lines, which haven't broken, which I'm watching with interest. Because when we do break these, it may well mean something. But those who've got sell signals haven't reached possible near miss targets, and we've got a really, really nice support trend line here on the STX. So watching that with interest. So this line's moved slightly. Shouldn't be there. It should be here. Hang on a second. Fiddly moving the lines on this. Right, so that is we've got a perfect three-touch support trend line on ESTX, which I'm watching with particular interest. So we will see. Let's have a look at the RTH charts. Right, a second, actually, we'll stop with that one. We'll stop with this one. Okay, on ES, we've got a tiny bit of negative divergence, but it's barely worth the mention. Here we've got a little bit as well, I think, but again, already worth the mention. I'll just move that so you can see that more clearly. We do have negative divergence on the daily RSI 5. It's looking at the other charts. 15-minute, we lost the sell signal brewing, so we don't have that anymore. We do have, we've got some negative divergence on the 60-minute here. It's not quite as pronounced as I'd like to see, but we do have the beginnings of a possible hourly RSI 14 sell signal of a kind we haven't seen since we actually saw this high. So watching that with interest. Let's have a look at the others. NDX. NDX, we've got tiny bit of negative divergence again on the daily, but really we need to see a larger retracement than a retest before we get any kind of decent signal. We've got possible RSI 5 and RSI 14 sell signals brewing on NDX here, and we're struggling a bit at this established level here. Watching that with interest, but without thinking there's any reason we necessarily need to see a turn there. We shall see. Looking at Dow. Dow on the hourly chart, little bit of negative divergence again. We've actually got a weak sell signal fixed here on the RSI 14. On the daily chart, tiny bit of negative divergence. There's not an awful lot to hang your hat on here, and to be honest, the trend is strong, and this has been a very strong trend. It's not a lot to be depending on. So could we see a turn here? Potentially, yes. I mean, hourly, we've actually got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed on IWM. And again, we're at a resistance level and quite a strong one. So it wouldn't be a bad place for it to turn. Do we have a pattern suggesting it would turn? Got to say, not really. Not yet. So see a touch of this trend line and hold it, and maybe. Looking at the daily chart, little bit of negative divergence. We got a possible weak RSI 5 sell signal brewing there, and it's the best of the four so far. Looking at DAX, not too far away from a retest to the high. I think we're probably going to be seeing a lot of high retests fairly soon. Nikkei is quite a long way from the high, and it's only just got back over the daily middle band. Even partially because it came down so far to start off with. We will see. But I'm thinking that this is definitely weakening. But we are only about 60 handles away from the all-time high on ES. We've got that 57.22. Yeah, and so I'm thinking we may well hit that before we see any kind of meaningful retracement. good, of course, getting meaningful retracement there. But the fact that we haven't really formed a pattern on the way up isn't encouraging for any idea that this is going to be a double top on the second high when we get there. Looking at DX, I found this trend line here, which I'm watching with interest. It's a nice trend line. This could mean that the dollar, which has got another buy signal fixed here now, the dollar is going to head up into this trend line resistance here, up in the 103.5 area. So I'll be watching that with interest. On ZB, the 60-minute sell signal, 50 written in there for some reason. So the 60-minute sell signal has reached the possible near miss target. I am wondering still about this wedge. This is a nice overthrow. It's a nice trend line. It's a nice wedge. We could be about to see a breakdown below this rising support, which I've currently got in about the 123.22 area. CL. Now, this is an important one because I was warning that we might go below triangle support yesterday, and we've done it. And that has implications. There's quite a lot of big implications, actually. Looking at oil, we've seen a significant break through this support trend line overnight. Now, this could mean that the triangle is breaking down, and if it is, then it's got a very clear target back at a retest of 63.57. That is worth noting. This is potentially killing off the bullish triangle scenario, and confirming this as a bearish triangle. So I'm watching this. We could have been in potential double bottom territory here, but really looking at this setup here, this isn't a double bottom. It's too large relative to the prior high, which was here at 84.52. I think the oil is breaking down. We may well be looking at the next big target being 63.57. Need to be aware of that. Nat gas, we've still got the nice looking inverted head and shoulders. We're still at, and we haven't broken the pretty decent looking support, which is the moving averages in the 2.3 to 2.36 range. That ribbon of moving averages needs to be broken and converted to go higher. Not a bad looking setup to do that. We've got a nice looking potential inverted head and shoulders here. But again, the right shoulder is longer than the left shoulder. I mean, I'd be thinking next 3 or 4 days max in terms of a breakup. After that, odds of a downward resolution improve. 60-minute sell signal has reached possible near miss target, so disregarding that at this stage. GC, 60-minute sell signal is fixed. Might deliver something, particularly if the dollar's going to bounce. SI hasn't made it up any further towards these targets, and could see a pullback here if the dollar is going to bounce, which I think it might well. HG, we made the little double bottom target. We're up at a potential inverted head and shoulder neckline, and we could see a pullback here into the ideal right shoulder low, which would be in about the 4.03 area. Watching that with great interest. UUSD looks as though we might see a reversal here. We've seen higher highs on increasing negative divergence. Can reconfirm this sell signal twice. I'm quite liking this sell signal. I'm quite liking the dollar situation for a rally here too. GBP USD has made target. It has exceeded the prior high, and it made the inverted head and shoulder target. Nice. Possible 60-minute sell signal break. USD JPY. Got to say, I've not marked in the downward arrows here because I'm a bit skeptical about this making the downside target. The head and shoulder, right shoulder high is in the 147.5 area. Wouldn't be surprised to see that go back above it at all. So, and if the dollar's going to bounce here, that's probably going to happen. USD CAD, we've got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing here, and nice looking wedge which is overthrown. Not a bad setup for a decent rally. Australian dollar has got pretty close to retest this high. It should do the full retest really. So 60-minute sell signal fix getting pretty close to the possible near miss target. NZUSD has already made target to the upside. 60-minute sell signal fixed, hasn't made target yet. All right, let's have a look at KC. KC has made the target at a retest of this high. 60-minute sell signal fixed. Could see a bit of a pullback consolidation here. SB, nice looking double bottom. No sign of it breaking up yet. Weak 60-minute buy signal is making target without removing SB particularly. CC, could be a flag. If it turns into a flag channel, this would be the trend line. We haven't made that yet. Keeping an open mind, but this could be breaking up. CT, nice looking double bottom. 60-minute sell signal failed, and another one has fixed. but we could see a break up here. If so, we'd have a target back up and a retest this high, which would be in about the 75.8 area. ZW, nice looking double bottom, not showing any particular sign of breaking up at the moment. Corn, nice looking double bottom, hasn't broken up either. Soy has broken up. We've got a target in about the 1002 area there. Just back testing the weekly pivot at the moment. On lumber, we've got a breakdown from the rising support trend line. I'm thinking this might have topped out for the time being, but this could be a bull flag forming. Live cattle has made the double top target, so no current positive divergence, could go lower. And lean hogs has broken up from this bull flag with a target at this high here in the 78.5 area, sorry, 78.7 area, and I'm leaning fairly strongly towards that making target. 60-minute buy signals reached the possible near miss target and may well reach the full one. All right, great. Let's have a look. Oh, there's one thing to mention. I'm not in tomorrow. I'm taking my oldest son skydiving. He's making an early start on his bucket list, so he wants to go skydiving. I am not going skydiving. I've got half a cruciate ligament in one knee, and I'm quite keen to avoid a total knee reconstruction if I lose the other half. But I'll be taking him, so I'm going to miss the open tomorrow, but I'll probably be back later. I might do an intraday webinar, depending on how interesting the day is. It being Friday, it might not be particularly interesting. All right, great. Let's have a look at ES and questions. Right, no questions at the moment. Yes, there's nothing. We've still actually technically got six 60-minute sell signals. In a normal market, that would mean an awful lot. In this market, I'm not sure it means much. We're getting pretty close to this prior high. I'm thinking we may hit it before we see a reasonable retracement. We shall see. But I'm liking a retracement when we get there. We're starting to build up some decent hourly divergence on the RTH charts, and those do tend to be nice signals. Nothing really on the daily, but we're at the stage where we could start to form them. So this is weakening to the upside in terms of momentum. We could see a larger retracement here. If we did, the obvious target and the obvious support for the little double top that you can see here would be at the monthly pivot at 55.71. So we shall see. All right, great. Everyone have a great weekend. My pleasure as always, and I'll catch you guys later. If the day is interesting tomorrow, I'll probably get back in time to do an intraday webinar. So we will see how interesting it is. If it's a standard Friday, then it may not be very interesting. So we shall see. All right, cheers, guys. If I'm not on before, have a great weekend.